Yo, what's good? Everyday Superpower, where we learn about body language, attraction, repulsion, engagement, dating, everything in between. How to read people, how to present yourself, yeah? Link of this video in the description of this video. There's going to be 2 links. Yeah? Did that sound like a word salad? It definitely came out as a word salad. What I meant to say is that there's 2 links in the description of this video. One of them will link to the entire catalogue of body language that I have done and made for you, so you can learn how to read people without them saying a word, from the top of their head down to the tips of their toes. So check that out if you want to learn the body language game. Alternatively, click the other link, which will go to my Patreon, and you'll be able to join me in reading, assessing, observing, and dialing in attraction and repulsion body language, watching videos of real life dates. Okay, it's the game you won't find elsewhere, believe me. Now, I'm going to put you on some game. We're going to talk about the legs. We're going to talk about crossing the legs. And I'm going to tell you how to read this particular symbol, okay? How to read this particular nonverbal communication, right? So, I've got a few images ahead of you. Where do I start? So, we're looking at crossing the legs now. Women do this differently to men, because women have broader hips than men. So women can actually do this to highlight and accentuate their femininity. Men will find it harder to place the top leg comfortably atop of the knee of the other, sort of leading both legs direct. So if you look at that second image that has the thumbnail on it, the Guardian thumbnail, if you look at her body language, you will see that she's not necessarily swinging one leg to the side. They're both pretty direct and straightforward. That is a real feminine symbol, and it's a very sexualized symbol purely as it is feminine in nature, because the man doesn't necessarily have the hip mobility or breadth to perform this movement. You'll find that the calves of the woman are pushed forward and the hamstrings of the woman are brushed against the other leg, creating this very fertile display of feminine fat. And we love the legs of a woman, right? We're not necessarily going to go into that though. We're going to talk about paying attention to what leg overlaps the other. So, consider where you are or where other people are in correlation to the crossing of the leg. And I'm going to sum this up nice and easy. If you look at the image of the 5 celebrities, they've all got their legs overlapping. They've all crossed their legs, all in the same direction, because the interviewer is on that particular side of them, you see. Yeah? So they're bringing that interviewer into their personal space. What they're doing is creating a shield to anything that exists on the opposite side of them. They're creating an obstacle, a barrier, whilst allowing the other person, i.e. the interviewer at their other side, communicate with them to create this more intimate space. They are exposing their genital area, which is a symbol of trust, purely as, we don't want to put that on show to someone who's potentially threatening, right? Genital displays are very important. If you look at the image beside that of the man facing 2 women, he has got his legs crossed, but you can see whom he is favourable to, given that he is allowing in the woman on the right-hand side, whereas he is blocking out the woman on the left-hand side. Is this, does this pertain to sexual attraction? You'll have to read that in the moment and make sense of it. Maybe he's gay. And maybe he just likes her more. Maybe behind the other woman's back he bitches about that other woman and he doesn't like her, but he tries to put on a face. But his body language goes against his verbal word. And we can see that he is blocking her out. On the top left, we see two women sat on a bench. One turned inwards more so than the other, yet they are both in harmony. They are both creating this intimate space, using their legs as a barrier to shut out anybody from the outside. Now, what we also see is mirroring. These two are in rapport. These two are becoming as one as they are engaging on each other's frequency, yeah? To the point where their feet are almost touching, if not are touching. Do you know why? Because our feet subconsciously turn and direct to those we wish to approach and those we find attractive, okay? We walk and we are attracted to those we are attracted to. We go towards, we don't go away. This is some game here. You'll see this everywhere. You'll see this everywhere. Somebody's seated and they cross their legs. Now, men, I don't recommend you do this unless you need to, use your leg as a table to write on a notepad or something. Men, you don't need to do this. But then again, you don't need to be man-spreading. Might feel comfortable at the time because you're comfortable and confident and open, but you don't necessarily have to territorially take up as much space as possible unless you feel it's foolproof in you doing so. But I wouldn't recommend you crossing your legs because it also sort of steps into the closed body language space, dependent on what's going on around you. Of course, if you are utilizing it to create intimacy with those whom you're speaking to, and when I say create intimacy, if you refer to the photo of the couple, the man exposing his genitalia in a masculine pride with his legs open, and the person beside him, close, physical touch, definitely in some relationship, you can see she is using her leg as a sexual, non-verbal cue, but blocking him off to some regards. Okay? You have to look at the cluster of body language. She's close to him. Okay? But this might have been manufactured for the sake of the photo, because her legs are betraying the overall message her body language is sending. So it's to be, questioned. Maybe there is a sexual hang-up between the two at this moment in time, and she is concealing herself from him, okay? Imagine they're naked. That's what I said in another video. The non-verbal cues become a little clearer if you look at what they're doing as if they were naked, because this is what we would have done as animals. It's all linked with our primitive ancestry, right? It's subconscious behavior. It's rooted way, 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 way before our human brain started to have us make up lies and consciously be able to tell stories that didn't even happen. This is truthful, honest, non-verbal communication. So pay attention to this. All right? That's some game. I'm signing out. Peace.